Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of this FIFA 16 career mode with Manchester United. In this episode we're up against Crystal Palace. That's Old Trafford, as you can see there. Crystal Palace are actually doing pretty well in the Premier League this season in this game. I think they finished 14th in real life, as well as got to an FA Cup final. We know how that ended. Crystal Palace are in 7th. Goal difference of 1. That's unusual, isn't it? Leicester City aren't doing as well as they are the real life counterparts. Minus 12 goal difference for Leicester, that was there then. And teams changed. Michael Carrick's back in as captain. Totally changed 11 because we've got a big game next in the FA Cup. So Fossa Mensah, Tyler Blackie, Paddy McNair, Buffett Jackson, Pereira, Schneiderlin I've given another chance to in the middle, Lingard, Rashford, Januzaj. And Pereira as well, so I'm not sure if Pereira's got much playing time so far. Crystal Palace, as you'd expect, they've got a few decent players like Punchin, Wickham, Sacco, Zaha. They've all started. Scott Dunn's a good defender as well. Actually came from Warsaw. Made it to the Premier League. Not sure where Balassi is, but Crystal Palace are very, very dangerous on the counter-attack with Balassi and Zaha's pace in particular. So we've got to watch we don't attack too much and leave ourselves short at the back, because they will counter-attack with pace. Crystal Palace fans there, it's a long trip up north for them, but we're actually very good on the counter-attacks ourselves as well, and defensively we've been absolutely sound this season, other than a few mistakes at the back. Well, there have been actually quite special goals that have been scored against us. That's an only mistake there from Crystal Palace. Lingard shoots, good save by Speroni. Sounds like spaghetti or something, or pizza. Some tomato sauce, pasta sauce. Buffett Jackson, I thought that was a good tackle, I didn't see anything wrong with that. Chipped in easily away by Schneiderlin. And that's one ball over the top to punch on. McNair managed to do with it. That's not the best of clearances though. Didn't get it far up the pitch. Wickham shoots. Takes a good save from Butland. It's not very safe to be doing that though there, Paddy McNair. Gotta be safe, be sure at the back. Otherwise it'll cost us a goal and we're playing ourselves into trouble. Crystal Palace are actually attacking a lot, doing quite well. Especially Wilfried Zaha is causing a lot of problems in this game, as he did in the final, just no end product really. In the FA Cup final, that is, I should say. There's a chance here for Rashford. It's blocked by Suarez, who actually had a very good game last time, and that actually came off his arm. You'll see in the replay at the end, that came off his arm. I'm not just saying that to be bitter, but it did come off his arm, so the referee's got that one wrong, so they are capable of getting it wrong in the game as well. Lingard, Rashford shoots. He falls to the ground, that's a miss, he should be scoring that. It's a very good chance, probably the best chance of the game for United especially. It's a free kick, another foul by Buffett Jackson I believe. Fossa Mensah turns that behind for a corner, taken short toward Wickham, Connor Wickham in the box. Oh, that's not too troubling. Jack Butland watches it go past his post into the box. There should be another corner. Taken short, Pereira has the ball. Got Andres Pereira and Herrera. Michael Carrick taken into the box this time on the penalty spot. It's not a bad header, wasn't a bad delivery either. Schneiderlin. Punch him, that's a weird clearance. Januzaj. It's away by Suarez. He's having a very good game again. Saka's having a good game. Crystal Palace are quite difficult to break down, defending well. Jedinak's a good player as well. Strong in the middle. And half time it's 0-0. Crystal Palace will be a lot happier with that result. Sitting in 7th place, holding their leaders at Old Trafford. As the players make their way off the pitch for the first half concluded. The second half starts. Straight away on the attack, Manchester United. That's not the best of crosses, to be honest. Zaha foul on Bothwick Jackson. Looks hurt. Zaha picked up a yellow card for that. Yana's eye. I thought he was going to catch him then for a penalty. Go all that way and then didn't shoot though, Yana's eye. Pereira. No. And Man United were attacking a lot more this half. And we're a bit better in this half so far. Creating more chances. Didn't really create too much in the first half. But the shooting's not been good enough. And that's a foul from Tyler Blackett. And he picks up a yellow card as well. That shot's not troubling anyone. Marwan Shamak used to play for Arsenal, as did Adebayor as well. Crystal Palace have got Adebayor and Shamak, who used to play for Arsenal. Both Torres away here. On the counter-attack, this is probably the only counter-attack that they actually managed. It wasn't too good, but I think he should be scoring there, to be honest. Maybe take a touch. He had all the time in the world, all the space he needed. He should be scoring, really. Just lucky that he headed it straight into Jack Butland's arms. Very grateful for just being able to catch it that easily. And now the time wasting tactics begin. They have actually brought Adebayor on as well. Adebayor and Shamak playing. I'm not sure why you're bringing another forward on if you're going to waste time in the corner. And that's it, full time 0-0. Not a very good game to start with. Not a very good game at all, really. Not much happened. Very uneventful. It's a very forgettable game there. As well, I'm doing this a bit later because there was a lot of noise earlier from the children running up and down the street and going up and down on the scooter and ice cream vans and sort of stuff, so I decided to do it now where it'll be a bit quieter. So that's why it's going out a bit later than usual. Also, I've had to edit 2 episodes for today as it's double Sunday. I've had to edit 2 episodes and my PlayStation's making a lot of noise, which is quite worrying, so I have to give it a bit of a break, otherwise it'll overheat. It's starting to make a bit of noise, which isn't a good sign, to be honest. That's a good save from Jack Butland. He's actually doing okay now. He's starting to convince me, and if a goalkeeper gets man of the match, I think he's actually deserved it in this game. He's actually justified in this game because he has played well. And not a lot has happened elsewhere, like none of the other players have played well enough, to be honest, so I think Jack Butland got man of the match again here. But rightly so for a change. That was an outrageous foul, to be fair. I was lucky to have only got a yellow. Wilfried Zaha used to play for Manchester United, of course, for he wasn't even there for a season, was he? He was out on loan. Didn't get much of a chance, to be honest, at United, as a lot of players don't. I don't think many people liked him at United. I brought Fellaini on as well, just because I didn't have the strongest bench, to be honest. I'm resting players for this match. It is Manchester United versus Chelsea in the FA Cup. Phil Jones complaining about playtime. Michael Carrick saying thank you for playing him. You're welcome. Phil Jones is complaining. Jack Butland's also complained about not playing as much and being in form, about disappointing not to have started and stuff. I don't like players that complain a lot. So if they keep complaining, I'm just going to sell them. No room for sympathy in football. What's the word? There's no room for sentiment and sentimentality in football. There's the FA Cup brackets, the tree, whatever you want to call it. Courtois starts in goal for Chelsea. I've not seen him in previous games against Chelsea. Mikel, captain, is that Mikel? David De Gea. Old Trafford. It's a nice shot of Old Trafford. This is a very big game. FA Cup quarter final. Man United versus Chelsea. I think we've beat Chelsea quite comfortably in the last 2 games, but FA Cup's different, isn't it? Teams seem to be a lot more difficult in the cups, in the cup competitions, especially Champions League knockout stages. That's very difficult. FA Cup knockouts, quarter-finals, semi-finals are very difficult. Usually, they've put out a very strong side. Pedro, Willian, Mikel, Matic, Oscar, Da Costa, all the usual suspects you'd expect them to be playing. Courtois starts. As I said, that's the first time I've seen him play for Chelsea this season. Number 13 shirt, we usually get quite a bit of luck when the goalkeepers wear number 13. There's something I've noticed. We get set to kick off Old Trafford. Pitch is looking quite nice. Gareth Bale, quick, that's a penalty, very early on, penalty. If you can hear any background noise, that's the dog walking around. He's trying to tell me that he needs to go out, so I have to quickly finish this and then take the dog out. Willian protesting, you can't protest that as a definite penalty. First 5 minutes of the game as well, in an FA Cup quarter final. Definite penalty, it's too late there. Willian. Definite yellow card, that. As Wayne Rooney and Anthony Martial, I think Anthony Martial is playing, but Wayne Rooney is still injured. He was injured against Arsenal. I've decided not to put him in, he's actually on the bench. Gareth Bale steps up to take it in his place, and it's a decent penalty. Didn't look too convincing, the run up or the way he hit it. Looked like it sliced off the side of his boot, if anything. But it's gone in the top corner nonetheless. And Courtois didn't even move. I think I'm better taking penalties with left-footed players than I am right-footed players. I don't know why that is. That's probably just me, but that's the way it seems. United fans, that's a very good start for United. Nearly made it 2 very quickly there, Juan Mata, and he'd love to score against Chelsea, wouldn't he? Used to play for Chelsea, of course. David Moyes brought him in a January transfer window, 2014, I think. David De Gea, oh, we should have caught that, and that's hit the underside of the crossbar. Diego Costa is in good goal scoring form in the league as well. Oh, it's offside anyway, doesn't matter. Dele Alli, and Juan Mata shoots again. That's not a bad shot. Juan Mata on his stronger foot, you'd expect to be at least hitting the target. Willian, another player United are linked with, and of course we're going to be linked to a lot of players, Chelsea players. We're going to be linked to a lot of Chelsea players. We're going to be linked to a lot of Inter Milan players, some Real Madrid players. We're going to be linked to Portuguese players, as we were linked with a lot of Dutch players under Van Gaal. Going to be linked to a lot more players now. Mourinho's the manager, and I think they'd rather play for Mourinho than under Louis Van Gaal, as I've mentioned in previous episodes. Gareth Bale, Dele Alli. This has actually been a really comfortable game so far, just over half an hour gone, and it's been actually really comfortable, quite an easy. Actually found the Chelsea games quite easy. I think we beat them 3-0 in the last game and 1 or 2-0 in the first game at Stamford Bridge. Not sure if you've watched them. If you've watched those episodes, let me know in the comments below, because I can't remember. I'm having to do this fairly quickly, to be honest, so I can't remember the order of every game. There's been quite a lot of episodes now, and quite a fair few games, as we're into the later stages of the season. Memphis, can he put a ball in here? That's not fantastic. Courtois sees it and comes and claims it, collects it quite nicely. See, Courtois is definitely a better keeper than what's his name? Courtois is definitely a better keeper than Begovic. That's a great finish from Dele Alli. Just put it across the goalkeeper into that far corner on his weaker foot as well. Not a bad goal, that. 2-0 Manchester United just before half time. And it looks like we can set up as a counter-attack now. It looks like we can see this game out 2-0 up. Chelsea haven't really looked threatening. They haven't looked like scoring at all, to be honest, Chelsea. Other than that offside. Where they hit the crossbar, but it was offside, so that doesn't really count. It's a nice goal. It's a great finish from Dele Alli. He's actually impressed me since I bought him in January as well. He's been very good. He's actually taller than I thought he was as well. Dele Alli, 2 goals in the FA Cup. Fair play to him. Young lad, going to the Euros with England. Looks like he could get sent off against Euros. I think that's a pretty safe bet. He's going to get sent off at some point during the Euros, because he always reacts, doesn't he? Players wind him up and he reacts every time. Anthony Martial, he's been very quiet in this game. Diego Costa, also very quiet, but Chelsea haven't been able to supply him really. 7th minute penalty for Gareth Bale, and we get another penalty this season. We do get quite a lot, to be honest. Not that I'm complaining. 2-0 up in the FA Cup quarter final against Chelsea. And this is also, I'd like to point out again, this is also the first time in both cup competitions, other than the final of the Capital One Cup. This is the first time they've played a Premier League team in the FA Cup and League Cup. So in both cup competitions, Chelsea always seem to avoid Premier League teams. They've played Hull in both cups as well, which is ridiculous. Said before, Hull on this game are a Championship side, but they have been promoted to the Premier League in real life, so next season there will be, well, not in the game, but in real life they'll be in the Premier League next season. But for the moment now, they are a Championship side. West Ham, Chelsea. Why would you pronounce it with a W? There's no W in it. Chelsea. And Herrera, he's doing well. He actually, yeah, since I put him back in the team, he's impressed me as well. And Herrera, I might start him over Bastian Schweinsteiger more often. Juan Mata, that's a poor ball from Mata. Fabregas intercepts. And Chelsea have actually come into the game a bit more now. They've started to attack, but that's not fantastic. Finish from Oscar. Bad angle, to be honest. Luke Shaw. I'm not sure who that player is. Never seen his name in my life. Blind, Matic. I'm not sure why they seem to be starting Begovic instead of Courtois. Another offside from Oscar there. I noticed the flag went up on the far side, so I stopped running after him. Fellaini comes on from Dele Alli, just to give Fellaini a bit more playing time, a bit of a run out. And yeah, this has actually been a really comfortable game, to be honest. Chelsea haven't threatened. It's been very easy, to be honest. Whereas games against Watford and Bournemouth have been ridiculously difficult. This has been actually really easy. Pedro, some suspect defending there. Good save from Courtois. Half a chance for United. Memphis in on goal. That's a very weak shot. Perhaps held back by the defenders. 10 minutes to go. United turn up. It looks pretty cut and dry now. Pretty straightforward. Looks like Man United will be going to the semi-finals. Luke Shaw. And it's looks like a very convincing win. Looked very comfortable in this game. The whole game as well. Mind you, the penalty was a big factor early on, wasn't it? Since we went a goal up, we haven't looked like conceding. Willian on the yellow card. He's actually played very well though, despite the penalty, giving away the penalty. Matic, Nemanja Matic. Willian again. He's perhaps created the most and caused the most problems. He's blocked it there. Smalling gets it away. Only as far as Matic. Willian again. And that's a good block from Smalling. That's probably Chelsea's best attack of the game. They've left it late to start coming back into this game though. Courtois coming up for the corner. Is that Kennedy taking the corner? I've got no idea who Kennedy is either. It's put behind for another corner very quickly. Courtois still in the box, in the United box, and that's a poor corner. Too easy for De Gea to get to. Marcus Rojo puts it forward. Memphis counter-attack for United, and this could wrap it up. 90th minute. Fellaini gives it to Gareth Bale, who just taps that in gently. Actually, toe punched it, and it just rolled into the far corner. No power behind it, but Courtois was already committed. He'd already came out to try and get the ball, so it just rolled past him on the counter attack. Bit of a sweaty goal, but it doesn't matter when it's 2-0, 3-0. If Chelsea had scored and it was 2-1 and I scored like that, that would have been a sweaty goal, but it doesn't matter because Chelsea haven't looked like scoring the whole game, other than the Chris Smalling block and the offside decision earlier. Gareth Bale scores again, 2 goals against Chelsea. Game restarts and that's all. Chelsea don't even get time to come back. They've lost 3-0 again, which is my actual highest scoring game. Both come against Chelsea and they've both been 3-0. 3-1 against Bournemouth, if you count that. Not Bournemouth, Sporting Lisbon. 3-1 in the Champions League. And 2 3-0 wins against Chelsea, which is very impressive. So it's a trilogy of defeats for Chelsea and a trilogy of victories against Chelsea for Manchester United. And it's also 3 goals, which is also a trilogy. Gareth Bale getting a brace, which is 2 goals. Not dentist work. Old Trafford, some of the highlights. Courtois, he looks annoyed before the game's even started. United fans in the background. I've noticed sometimes as well when you're about to, there's the penalty very early on. Why are they holding the heads? Why are they holding the heads? United fans are holding the heads. Even when you're scoring a goal, sometimes they've got the head in the hands. I'm not sure why that is. Even when you're scoring a goal, some of them have got their hands on the heads. I was looking out for it there, but I've noticed it in a few games that they seem to do that a lot. And we've got green and blue scarves, which I'm not happy about still either. I know I'll keep going on about the scarves, but I'm really not happy about that. That'd never happen. That could have been 2-0 early on. I think that was like the 11th or 12th minute. One matter has to go. We actually had a lot of chances in this game, and Chelsea had very few. This is probably the best chance. It's the post actually. I don't remember seeing that, to be honest. Pulling his shirt. Mikel, captain. I don't know if Chelsea have rested players, but I don't know why they would. I don't know why they'd rest players, because they've been knocked out of the Champions League already. I think they've been knocked out. I know the second legs, they're still in the Champions League, so that's probably why they're resting players then. Because we've got Sporting Lisbon in the second leg up next, so they're probably rested players for their second leg. I'm not sure who they're playing actually. It's probably somebody easy now in Chelsea though. This is the final goal. As I said, a bit sweaty, just rolls past Courtois. He sticks a leg out but couldn't get to it. And Bale helps himself to 2 goals against Chelsea. But that's all we've got time for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Take care and goodbye.